Hi and welcome back to another short training session by E-Preceptor. Today we're going to have a look to connect our MikroTik in the reverse order than the normal default settings. We're going to go from Wi-Fi towards the LAN side. In the normal default configuration, we will normally get into our MikroTik with an Ethernet port, Ether1 by default, and we get out of the MikroTik to our PCs wirelessly. In today's session, we're going to have a look at the opposite. We're going to go in wireless and we're going to go out by cable. That's a scenario we like to use in the training venues where there's a ISP router available to us on Wi-Fi and I need to get my MikroTiks to connect to the ISP, to the internet via wireless connection. We can have two scenarios to do this. We can have a bridged scenario and a routed scenario. Let's start by having a look at the bridged scenario. In a bridge scenario, the ISP router will hand the DHCP address straight through to my PC as if the MikroTik is non-existent. The only purpose of the MikroTik in this scenario is to change Wi-Fi back to copper cable. When we set up, there will be no IP addresses, there will be nothing. It's a bridge, straight through, transparent bridge, straight through from the ISP router to the PC. Let's go and have a look what we must do on the MikroTik. Connecting to your MikroTik for the first time, there's a possibility that you might have problems. So let's see. I'm connecting to my MikroTik, so my Apple must first open up Wine and get the simulated scenario running. I am connected wirelessly to a MikroTik, a LTE MikroTik, and that's what I'm picking up at the moment. Although my MikroTik on the desk is also plugged in via the LAN cable, I'm not picking up my MikroTik on the table whilst my wireless is running. So what I normally do is I just switch off my wireless for a short while, refresh, and as you can see immediately it also picked up the RB931 on my desktop, and if I now connect to my MikroTik, it will connect. At this point now, if I switch back the wireless, that problem should be solved. Connecting to your MikroTik, you will normally find it in one of three conditions. In this specific scenario, I've played with my MikroTik before, so it will open up with certain settings already in the MikroTik, which I don't like. So what I will do is, if this is the case, I will go to System, I will reset my configuration, and I will make sure there's no default configuration on my MikroTik. I don't want the default configuration, and I will say Reset Configuration. I'm going to not reset to defaults, just to show you what happens if you connect to a new MikroTik. So resetting the MikroTik without clicking on the no default configuration will reset my MikroTik into the default configuration. So let's do that, because that will give me exactly the same scenario than a brand new MikroTik out of the box. So let's go Reset Configuration, wanted. And what will happen is my connection will fall in a short while, and then it will take a few minutes for the system to reconnect. I have waited a while, it was a minute or so, and as you can see, my wireless, I'm still connected with my wireless on my PC, normally connected to the internet, but the 931 came up again. That is, as I explained previously, a problem we normally get just once. And once we've connected via the LAN to our MikroTik on the LAN cable, that problem is not reoccurring. So let me go into the MikroTik that's now in default settings and have a look. Alright, and here I'm experiencing the same, so let's just go and switch off the wireless, cancel, connect, and here I go in. And this is what I wanted to show you. If we connect to a brand new MikroTik out of the box, we will have the default settings on this MikroTik, and for purposes of this lab I don't want the default settings, so I will click on the remove default configuration. Normally my MikroTik should fall, yes, and if I reconnect now, you will see all the settings that were there previously is gone, so I can start off by cleaning my MikroTik. And let's go to that bridge scenario. Whenever you reset a MikroTik, the wireless will be switched off. So if I go to the wireless tab and the wireless interface, my wireless LAN is switched off. So let's switch it on. I enable it, That's it, now it's enabled. In my specific scenario, my Wi-Fi in the office have got a password on, so I must go and create a security profile. I don't like to change the default settings that's on the MikroTik, so I will normally create a new one, and I'm using the password that's on my Wi-Fi in the office. And I keep it on the default name profile 1. Applying OK radio. Now we've got a security profile. I must go and apply it. So let's go back to my wireless interface. Double click on the Wi-Fi. Normally I will be in simple mode, so I must click for advanced mode. And I must go to the security profile and select the one I've just created. Security profile, apply it, and OK. And now if I start double click on the wireless LAN again and scan, and start that, and have a look to find my office network. Here's my office network, MikroTik 2 LTE, and if I connect, my password and everything is correct, I should get the system running. Let's see. Here we are, and it's running. So my password is correct and I'm connected. I can go back to simple mode. I've got a radio link now between my MikroTik and the office Wi-Fi network. Next thing is to get that connection through to my PC. I have used my highest interface on the MikroTik, which in my case is Ether 3. So let's go and create a bridge. Add a bridge. Everything default. Apply OK. Next we must add the ports we're going to use. In my case, the port I'm going to use is wireless LAN. Correct. Apply OK. Everything in defaults. And then Ether 3. Ether 3. Still everything in defaults. Apply and OK. So now I've got a bridge and I'm connected through. Normally when I create a bridge, the MAC addresses will shift around a little bit, so the connection is going to fall, reconnect, and at this stage everything should be running. I'm connected with my MikroTik to the office Wi-Fi, so I've confirmed that my Wi-Fi is off. And if I have any internet now, it must be via my copper interface to my MikroTik. Let's have a look. Networks. Here we are. My USB to Ethernet converter. It's working. I received an address from my LTE router. So that's working. So now we can quickly test to see if I've got internet. Yeah. MikroTik. And it's running, so I've got internet via my MikroTik connected to the office network. Right, next we're going to have a look at doing this within a rooted environment. I can guarantee you that although this is a very simple setup and it's supposed to work first time, we had instances where some of the internet routers were just not getting DHCP IP address through to my computer. And not on one occasion and not experienced by one person, so we had to look at the alternative also, and that is to route my packets through from the ISP router to the PC. Let us just have a quick look what we're going to do for the rooted exercise. Basically the same. We're going to connect to the internet service provider's router via wireless. In this case, we're going to receive a DHCP address on the wireless LAN. And then the big difference, we're going to have an IP address on my LAN output. I'm not going to create a bridge between my wireless LAN and my cabled LAN. I'm going to create routes between them. And as a matter of fact, the routes is going to be created by my MikroTik themselves automatically when I put the address in. And then from this port, I'm going to create a DHCP server, giving the PC a IP address. And then my IP address range on the PC and my IP address range from the ISP router will be different, and that's where the routing is going to take place. So I must put NATing and DNSing in as part of the exercise. Let's move to the MikroTik and see exactly what we must do. Back to my MikroTik, we've still got the setup for the bridge exercise on. The easiest way to do this is to go to my system, reset configuration, make sure there's no default configuration, and reset the configuration. I want to reset, yes. This will take a while again. It's gonna kick me off Winbox. I'll have to restart Winbox when the system is done with the reset. That will take a minute or so. I fast forwarded quickly through the waiting period, and yeah, my MikroTik is available again. It should be nice and clean. That's it, we connected. I've got a clean unit, and as you can see, all the previous values is gone. So let's start from the beginning in wireless. My wireless is disabled, I must enable it. In this specific case, I'm gonna have to enter a DHCP address on my wireless also. So IP, DHCP client, add a client. It's already on wireless LAN, it's got the default routing in, everything by default, apply and OK. I haven't connected yet, so I won't receive an address. Let's have a look. IP addresses, still nothing going on in IP addresses. The normal connect scenario, I must first create my security profile. So creating the profile, new profile. Apply OK by default. Going back to the Wi-Fi interface, double click, advanced mode, apply the security profile I've just created. So I'm applying it, apply OK. Let's see if I can connect. Double click, simple mode again. Let's go scanning, start the scan. I'm looking for MikroTik LT2, my office network. Connect, let's see if it's successful. The R is coming up, I'm successful, and at this stage I will now also have an IP address on my wireless LAN interface, 100% correct. Received 3 range from my LTE router, so that's also 100% correct. So my Wi-Fi is connected. Now I must create the LAN portion. So going to the LAN portion, IP, addresses, and I must add an address to my IP site. Let's make it 10.10.10.1/24, and it's on my Ether 3 where I'm connected. Apply. Okay, I've got an IP address on my Ether 3. Now I must create a DHCP server on that network. IP DHCP server. I'm using the DHCP wizard. I must create that on Ether 3. Next, and you will see defaults all the way. 10.10.10.0 perfect. 10.10.10.1 my gateway, yes. Addresses to give out from 2 to 254 correct. DNS servers, yes, it's already filled in because I'm connected to the internet already via the wireless. So I can just next, stay on for 10 minutes, correct. And there we are, the setup was successful. Now if I go to my PC, I should be receiving an IP address in the 10.10.10 range. Let's have a look. My network on my PC, using DHCP, already 10.10.10.254, 10.10.10.1, perfect. That's very close to having internet. 2 little exercises or 2 little small settings I must still do. I must go to my IP, firewall, on the NATing, create a NAT rule, going back to the general rules, source net 100% correct, and my action must be masquerading. Apply. Okay, so any packet that go into my MikroTik, leaving my MikroTik, will be masqueraded. And then I must do the DNS settings. So IP DNS. The service is already selected because the connection is done already. I must just allow it, allow, apply. Okay. And once again, at this stage, I should have internet. Let's have a look. I'm going to this, and let's go to MikroTik. And there we are, I'm connected to MikroTik. So that's the routing way to get connected to the internet. I hope this quick tutorial helped you to get connected to the internet the reverse way, from the Wi-Fi side to the copper side. Two different ways of doing it, both of them giving me equal results. Keep well, see you in our next training. Thank you for joining us in this training. If you found it helpful, please subscribe or share it by clicking on one of the buttons below.